Hey there, glad you're here. Curiosity hits different around here. This is where science, history, and the universe collide in the best possible way. A pulse of neon threads everything together for a second. Okay, let's open today's unexpected door. Dragons appear everywhere. China, medieval Europe, Persia, Mesoamerica. Different continents, different eras, different worldviews, and yet, similar enough that you'd think they all came from the same story. But they didn't. So here's the big question. How did humans who never met each other imagine creatures so alike? Turns out, once you peel back the myths, the answer is more human, more scientific, and more surprising than fire-breathing monsters. Anthropologists call dragons a convergent myth, a creature that appears independently in multiple cultures, just like the way wings evolved in birds, bats, and insects without a shared ancestor. But why dragons? Why reptiles? Why giant snakes? Why the mix of power, fear, and wisdom? When historians map dragon myths, something fascinating emerges. They're not random, they cluster along ancient trade routes, fertile valleys, fossil-rich regions, and places where natural disasters shaped cultural memory. It's as if the environment itself whispered the first drafts of these legends. Let's turn to the work of Adrienne Mayor, whose research basically opened a new field. Paleomythology, the study of how fossils influenced ancient stories. She found records of Greek villagers uncovering huge bones they believed belonged to heroes or monsters. Chinese dynasties documented dragon bones turning up after floods. Indigenous groups in North America had tales matching exactly the shape of Ice Age megafauna fossils found nearby. Ancient people didn't have paleontology. They had imagination and context. To a farmer in 2000 BCE, a mammoth skull doesn't say, "Hi, I'm an extinct Pleistocene herbivore." It says, "This was a giant, maybe a dragon." Some key examples. Protoceratops fossils along the Silk Road. Mayer's research indicates that nomads might have seen skeletons of Protoceratops, beaked dinosaurs with frilled skulls. Their curved frill and beak could easily be interpreted as a griffin or a horned dragon. Marine reptile fossils on mountain cliffs. In parts of China and Central Asia, fossils of ichthyosaurs and plesiosaurs were discovered far above sea level. To ancient observers, they looked like enormous serpents, frozen in stone. Serpent-like dinosaurs in China. Fossils of long-necked dinosaurs like Qijianglong resemble the flowing, sinuous shape of Chinese dragons. Long body, small limbs, elegant curvature. Over centuries, these discoveries accumulated, and myths grew with them. Here's where things get even more interesting. Even with similar triggers like big bones or natural disasters, each civilization interpreted the idea differently. China, dragons as cosmic order. In China, dragons became symbols of rainfall, rivers, fertility, and imperial authority. Why? Because agricultural life depended on water, and serpents already symbolized flowing nature. A dragon that brings rain makes perfect sense in this worldview. Europe, dragons as danger, chaos, and greed. European tales often describe dragons as fire-breathing monsters hoarding treasure in caves. This fits the medieval worldview where the natural world was wild, dangerous, and tied to moral lessons. A dragon wasn't just an animal, it was a test of heroism. Middle East, dragons as cosmic forces. Ancient Mesopotamian epics like Enuma Elish feature Tiamat, a primordial sea dragon representing chaos. The hero Marduk defeats her, creating order from her body. Here, dragons are metaphors for disorder, not literal reptiles. Mesoamerica, dragons as creation and transformation. Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, symbolizes wind, knowledge, and the cycle of life and death. In Mesoamerican cosmology, serpent dragons are divine architects of the world. Same creature, different meaning. Each culture used the dragon to express its deepest fears and highest ideals. Not every dragon comes from fossils. Some come from living animals supercharged by imagination. Crocodiles. Massive Nile crocodiles were known to travel far up rivers and grow to monstrous sizes. To inland cultures, these beasts looked supernatural. Pythons and anacondas, giant snakes, across Asia, Africa, and the Americas reinforced myths about serpents powerful enough to swallow cattle or humans. The Goanna monitor lizard, Australia. Scholars studying Aboriginal lore found stories of enormous ancestral reptiles that match the physical traits of Megalania, a giant extinct monitor lizard. Komodo dragons. When Europeans encountered them in the 15th century, they believed they had found real dragons. No fossils, no symbolism, just a massive, aggressive lizard that looks like myth incarnate. Human stories stretch reality, not break it. Here's the twist. When cultures met through war, trade, or exploration, they didn't just exchange goods, they exchanged monsters. Chinese silk traders heard tales of Persian dragons. Greek merchants along the Silk Road encountered Central Asian fossil sites. Medieval Europeans read Middle Eastern animal lore collections. Dragons evolved, not biologically, but culturally. A myth with no single home, yet somehow shared by everyone. Today, almost all researchers agree. Dragons never existed. But the experiences that inspired them absolutely did. Giant animal fossils. Encounters with dangerous reptiles. Natural catastrophes. Cross-cultural storytelling. Symbolism tied to each society's survival. Dragons are the intersection of science and imagination. They're what happens when humans try to translate the unknown into meaning. Dragons aren't real in the way fantasy novels describe, but they're real in the way human memory works. Every fossil uncovered, every snake feared, every storm survived, every myth retold, added a scale to the creature. Dragons are reflections of us, our fears, our hopes, our landscapes, our discoveries. And maybe that's why the myth survives so long. Not because dragons existed, but because humans needed them. Hey, appreciate you staying all the way through. Enjoyed it? Smash like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a new fact. And don't stop now, there's a whole universe of videos waiting for you. See you next time.